What is going on, good people of the interwebs? This is Kevin Orris. This is going to be a solo cast on the yet to be named podcast that I'm building right now. And let's talk about the hot topic that everyone wants to know about. That's right, Jim. It's AI. No, but seriously, let's talk about AI. Is it fucking up the world? Is it brain rotting our youth? Is it destroying human creativity? Is it doing the bad things and the stuff that you've heard in the news? Um, some of this is just me documenting my own journey right now. I'm not an expert on this at all. I'm a journeyman. I am a interested citizen of planet Earth. And I am firmly on the side of Team Humanity, just so we're clear. Just so we're clear, I am not in any way associated with transhumanists, technocrats, or any of these, very, very nasty people. Let me tell you. So, Trump impressions aside, I'm on Team Humanity, okay? So, anyone who's seen Stranger Things or just knows about the lore of the mystical side of humanity, we could have AI robots and agents and bots that do everything for us and manifest all these crazy, abundant, producing material abilities. And it'd be a lot cooler if humans could just awaken their dormant DNA and do it all psychically with psionic powers, which we could literally manifest. There's evidence that they exist. Okay. Go read the declassified CIA documents on this. Not making any of it up. Do your own research. Nothing in this video is financial advice. Nothing in this video is technical advice either, because if you don't do your own research and figure this shit out for yourself, all the stuff I'm about to tell you isn't worth shit. It's not going to mean anything. It's not going to be important. Okay. Now, that all being said, if you really knew me, you would know I've been a tech guy since I was a kid. I've been obsessed with technology since I was a kid, mainly because of video games and early personal computers and the internet. Like many millennials who are my age, we're actually the last generation that was born before the internet. So we were born before the internet reached mass adoption, I should say. The internet's been around since the 80s in military bunkers and shit, but we got to see the transition. I remember when we first got dial up internet. I remember we first turned on a personal computer and fucked around with it. It's crazy. Now, I used to build my own PCs. I used to know all the specs. I didn't really get into coding. That was too obtuse for me. I hated it. I learned a little bit of C. I learned a little bit of Java when I was in high school, and it was pretty terrible. But what I did love was understanding technology and messing around with it, right? I would run these crazy video renders. I was a gamer. I did all this cool stuff. And that continued throughout my life. Although at some point, once I awakened to Qigong, yoga, personal development, travel, all the modalities we all know and love in the personal development and coaching industry, I started to see technology as something bad or terrible, and it's like fucking everything up. Meanwhile, I've been able to grow an amazing brand and business using the very tools that I once hated. Now, that all being said, some of you will have seen my posts. I've been talking shit and anti AI from the beginning, okay? I was shitting on AI before it was cool. When ChatGPT came out, I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's just a super Google. And it's sycophantic. It glazes you. It tells you, oh my God, you're so right. You're so smart. And then we have AI psychosis happening. And before basically a week and a half ago, I had used LLMs, ChatGPT, any of them, for like a total of like 20 minutes, 15 minutes. I thought they were terrible. I fed my writing to it. I tried to play around with it. I searched with it, did a little bit of research. I wasn't impressed. And more so, I've been dunking on slash judging people that are using it to create content or generating AI anything, and then passing it off as if they're like super advanced and creative. I think it is terrible, and I still think that, by the way. Now that being said, over the last 2 weeks, two of my closest buddies and many others, and mind you, I've been researching and trying to stay on top of this stuff for a long time. Okay, I'm an investigator. I'm a detective. I love to research and learn. Okay, I'm always reading a book. I'm always listening to a podcast. I'm always reading an ancient text. I'm scanning the timeline and the news that's coming out and just grokking and synergizing my own worldview and sense making, basically. I love it. Maybe I love it too much and I do it too much. But it's important in our time because we live in an information world that's moving at light speed. It's absolutely insane. So you could say I was already primed because I'd been researching AI this whole time and keeping tabs on it from the bench. I was not on the playing field. Now, two of my buddies totally red pilled me, or rather, they white pilled me. It's even stronger than the red pill or even the gold pill. Shout out Nathaniel Salas. Um, I got rocked because I saw what agents can do. So agentic AI is not just a super search engine or reading and writing files. It's actually autonomous agents that have agency that can do things while you sleep and can literally become a virtual employee, can become a virtual thinking partner, etc. So a lot of people right now think of AI and use AI, including myself until recently, as just a super search, right? So you go to Google, you go to Bing, you search some stuff, you want to learn about it, you want a search engine. And AI can do this really well. So LLMs are really good at that for research. You can ask it any question, you can chat with it, you can get all geeked out on it. People are using it as their therapist, as their coach, as their SEO manager, as their marketing consultant. That stuff's all great, and you can still do that, and it's extremely powerful, and it's the worst it's ever going to be right now because every day a new breakthrough is happening. I don't know if this is true, but Jamie, can you fact check this? Jensen Huang, who's the CEO of NVIDIA, the most valuable company on earth right now, worth over $1 trillion, absolutely insane. They basically cornered the market on the chips these things are running on, right? So super critical to AI infrastructure. He just went on Lex Friedman's podcast, which many of you will know is one of the top podcasts. Lex Friedman is everyone's favorite autist. He's a beautiful man who just interviews people and asks the questions we want to answer. Similar to Rogan. He's not on Rogan's tier. I'd actually rank Rogan as S tier. Lex Friedman's definitely A tier, though. Now, Jensen is talking about the craziest stuff. And so there's this idea in technology. It's called Moore's Law, which some of you will learn or know about. Moore's law basically predicted a long time ago, decades ago, that at the rate of technology, with how fast computers can get faster and basically double their speed. So I'm not sure if this is exponential or logarithmic growth or geometric growth. I don't think it's exponential, but it's like they'll double every year or something like that as a basic idea here. I'm paraphrasing and probably getting some of this wrong. Look it up yourself. The specifics aren't as important as the idea that okay, like computers got popular in the 70s and then the 80s and then the 90s they really blew up and then we had the dot-com bubble and everyone's on the internet. Everyone has a supercomputer in their pocket with their smartphone. What was predicted for how fast it to grow, he claims not only is it not it's not doubled, it's gone 750x, 750 times since AI came out. So we've broken the technological theory of how fast this stuff's going to grow, which is crazy, okay? Because of how fast everything's going with compute levels and how fast hardware is becoming with these chips and these GPUs and CPUs, and also how much power it's using. So let's address this one first because this inevitably comes up in every AI thread and every AI comment. And also being a crypto early adopter, I heard about Bitcoin in like 2012, 2013, bought my first Bitcoin in 2014. Have dabbled in trading. I've been interested in it for a long time to this day. Everyone's like, oh no, Bitcoin is using too much power. Like we need to shut it down. It's bad for the environment, blah, 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 blah. And now the big question is with AI, oh, it's using too much power. It's using too much water. It's bad for the environment. Everyone freak out. Let's shut down AI. We should stop it. First off, logically speaking, this is a fallacy and a straw man argument. Okay. Go do the research yourself. Don't trust anything I'm saying. If you want to disagree with me, let me know in the comments. If you're liking this video, make sure you hit follow and share this out or tag someone here in the comments that would enjoy this conversation because this is a conversation you're going to be hearing a lot from me over the coming weeks and months. So this idea that like, okay, let's shut down Bitcoin and crypto because it's using too much power. Let's shut down AI because da 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 da. Do you know how much power and water like one industrial corporate plant uses? Or how much water and power is used in one military operation? For example, the Israel-US led assault on Iran right now. What you have to realize is not only Is there an unlimited amount of water on Earth? We literally live on a water planet. Now, is all of it accessible? Okay, I don't know. Can we desalinate the ocean and have infinite clean water? Probably. Is there untapped, trillions of gallons of water in ice caps and underground? Probably. Again, you can look up the statistics yourself. Power. The power that's powering my computer right now in my home and your devices as you're watching this and everything else. Is it being used efficiently? Do you realize how much power just sits there idle and never gets used and is wasted? Because it's just a backup in case the power were to go out. People in AI and computing in general are finding out ways to use this. Now, if there's a power surge and everyone's using a lot of power, like say there's a natural disaster or God forbid something terrible happens and power's going out. Yeah, we need the power to get to people to live and to keep food cold and to keep things running, to keep, hospitals running and stuff. That's real. And that's a real concern. We should manage it better for sure. That should be one of our top priorities. We should also probably stop burning fossil fuels to generate power. There's way better power alternatives, aka the sun, a nuclear reactor in the sky that gives life to all of Earth. Wind, solar, wind, geothermal, nuclear, I don't want to get into that discussion, but let's just nip it in the bud that anyone who's complaining about AI's water and power usage, or crypto for that matter, you're not understanding the fundamentals of A, the mismanagement and how we generate it, B, how much is wasted, and C, how many other industries that you happily support and never talk about and say we should shut them down are using orders of magnitude more. That all being said, should we manage water in a precious way because it's sacred? Yes. Should we manage power and electricity in a better way to make it more accessible? Yes. So let's get that out of the way. That's going to be one of the main things that people are bitching about. And I've already seen it happen many times when I've mentioned this stuff in public forums online. Now, AI. Most people, and let me know, maybe we have some epic people here that I can learn from. Because again, I get obsessed with things and investigate them down to the bottom and go detective mode. That's what I've been doing with AI for about a week and a half. I'm a baby. I just got off the bench. I just entered the playing field. So go easy on me here. There's a lot of things I don't know and I want to learn. So if you guys have resources, you have things you want to point me at, drop it in the comments or send me a DM. I'd love to jam on this, specifically as it applies to coaches, creators, artists, consultants, healers, all the people I serve in my coaching business. These are my clients, these are my friends. I want us all to, I want myself, I'm speaking to myself, but you guys might want to do this too, to get savvy with AI and use it to create generational wealth and impact and create an ROI, a return on investment, and an ROI, ripple of impact, and all the dope shit we're doing in the world to make the world a better place for Team Human. Now, if you don't want to do that with AI, that's cool. And it's not going anywhere. It's going to get to an insane level. So most people, including myself, still think of AI as just like super Google, right? It's sycophantic. It tells you you're always right. It hallucinates. It fucks things up. It gets a lot of things wrong. You need to double check it. Don't believe what it says. Do your research. Mess around with it. In fact, there's an amazing podcast by Naval Ravikant, which I would highly recommend, which he's talking about like kind of the meta and the overarching theory of all this stuff. Now, the way he uses it, which I've started to implement, which is very powerful and I recommend, is don't just use one LLM. Even the free versions of all the top LLMs, ChatGPT, Claude, Google Gemini, Meta's LLM, DeepSeek, Perplexity, there's a bunch of them, right? Grok, Twitter's AI. You should run your query through minimum of 4. So ask the same prompt or question to 4 of them and compare and contrast answers. The best answer, iterate on it, and then do it again. When you're doing research, if you're helping it to help you write or edit or create things, if you're helping it build things for you, like your vibe coding apps or you're building funnels or whatever you're doing, or you're just doing like, just learning. It's actually a really good tutor. You should diversify and not just get stuck in one, right? Now, I do think Claude is the best right now. It's the one I've kind of gone all in on. It has the top performance across a lot of metrics right now, just because Anthropic is going crazy, and it's now the number 2 in users because of the big fiasco, which some of you will saw, where the founder of Anthropic, I forget his name, something Amadeus or whatever, Amadeo, basically turned down a Pentagon contract for U.S. military uses for AI and said it's unethical. And Sam Altman, our good old boy for OpenAI, who's the top dog right now in terms of user base, jumped right on it. So a lot of people are like, fuck GPT, I'm moving to Claude. And I think that's smart because Claude actually is the best right now. Will GPT catch up quickly? Of course. OpenAI is going crazy. They acquired OpenClaw, which is the open source agent model right now that's going pretty crazy since December. That's created the meta, which again, this only since December, so 4 months ago. It's really popped off and the whole game has changed. That has gotten me to this point and gotten me off the bench onto the playing field. Now, using ChatGPT to super Google, that's great. Did you know that you can literally create an autonomous agent that's a 24/7 virtual employee that doesn't need to eat or sleep and you don't have to pay besides the subscription you're paying for the service? It's insane. I stayed up late last night building my first agent, who then I forced to self iterate and evolve and make itself better and code itself and tell me exactly how it did it in plain English. I don't know how to code. I'm not a super technical guy, but if you can speak the English language at a sufficiently powerful level, you can do anything right now. You can build entire websites that are better than what you used to pay a designer for $5,000, $10,000. And it can do it in minutes. It can literally send messages. It can run its own social media account. It can do deep research for you. It can read and write any file you have. It's insane. I used my agent, which I named Adam, as an executive assistant. I built him out. I gave him directives, personality, his parameters. And then he built the next agent, Compass, which he named himself. I didn't tell him what to do. I let him have a lot of free reign and just told him to explain the steps to me and was, very intelligently prompting him. He created an intelligence agent, which then started crawling Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit to find the best use cases to improve the agent architecture and the file base that the first agent was built on, and so on. And it just gets way crazier from there. And it's at the point with Claude where, I sat there and monitored it, but I could just schedule a task and it would work overnight. Or I could tell it what to do and it'd create an entire workflow and mission directive plan and just execute it. And the only time it asks me for input is if I need to approve something, like say it wants to pull a file out of my folder, which I've carefully partitioned in its own folder. It doesn't have access to everything. Or it needs to, run a tool that's going to use more of my token limit or whatever, and it's going to ask me first because I told it to. But other than that, it completely runs on its own, and it's insane. Now, what does this mean for you? So if you're a coach, you're a creator, you run your own business of any kind, or you even work for a corporation or a company and you just want to be more productive, people that are the top users, again, X, aka Twitter, is the best place to get the most cutting edge information. If you're getting AI information from Facebook or Instagram, it is so outdated and behind the primary spring of knowledge, which is going to be Twitter and X. It's insane. There's people deploying entire org charts or swarms of autonomous AIs that are agents that are running their entire company. I'm talking about sales, marketing, content machine. I'm talking about qualifying and even prospecting leads, closing leads, which I don't know about that one, but people are doing it. They're building out entire SaaS builds, software as a service. They're building out entire apps that you can sell in the App Store. They're building websites that convert and close. They're building entire content pipelines. It is insane what you can do right now. And again, I'm a baby. I just am learning how to walk right now with this stuff. But if you can speak the English language or any language, Hindi, Spanish, Italian, any language that the LLMs can understand, you can do this as well. And it's fucking crazy what you can do. The whole game has changed. It hasn't been fully adopted yet. Again, this started 4 months ago because OpenClaw, which is this open source agent architecture, Claude has built its own version and is building right now in real time. Literally shipped a new update this morning. OpenAI bought OpenClaw and is rushing to do all this stuff. It's getting crazy and it's going really fast. And the key things I've learned is number one, don't try to keep up with it. Don't try to get stressed and be on top of everything. Do your research, decide what you need in your life or business and what you want it to do. It can do a full spectrum health diagnosis and check all your health goals. It can help you with personal development, meditation, research, philosophy, spirituality. Spirituality, I don't know. The AIs they're not sentient. They're not actually AIs, by the way. This is marketing. AI means artificial intelligence. These things are not intelligent, okay? LLMs are super chatbots. Imagine you put all of Wikipedia, Reddit, and Google and all the documents that humanity's created into a database, and then it can speak to you using algorithms to determine which word comes next. That's all they are. We're pretty far from AGI, artificial general intelligence. Some people say it's already happened. Jensen Huang, again, CEO of NVIDIA, in this recent podcast, claimed they already have it. I don't know about that. Maybe it's in some dark web, you know, top secret thing and it's already happened and there's already Skynet or there's Jarvis or whatever. These things are not intelligent. And I mean that in the technical, logical sense that they do not have agency. Now, agents have agency, but only within the parameters you give them. They don't have self directives, they don't have intent yet. They will at some point, of course. Like we're living in the future. This is sci fi at this point. But as a tool, it is the most powerful tool humanity's ever created. It's insane. Okay. You can go look at like alchemy and like, prescient futurists like Terence McKenna, one of my favorites, and many others. It's kind of like the philosopher's stone in tech. So the philosopher's stone is this idea in alchemy where you create something that can be anything. So if you're hungry, it becomes food. If you're thirsty, it becomes water. If you need to go somewhere, it becomes a vehicle. If you need to research everything, it becomes the whole library of Earth. And these models can do this with limits, of course. But that's kind of where this is headed. And so there's an insane amount of leverage that you can create right now, whether you're a musician, you're a sound healer, you're a fitness coach, whatever. The leverage you can create is insane. And the people losing their jobs is real. I know people in my life that were insane software engineers. They're working for companies doing very complex knowledge work, and they've already been laid off. It's actually happening. It's starting. It's going to get crazier. Now, there's no reason to fear. There's no FOMO, fear of missing out, and there's nothing to fear if you're willing to get in the pool and swim. And again, I'm talking to myself because I was the guy on the edge of the pool not getting wet, being like, this is all bullshit. Like, I don't believe any of this. Your AI slop is terrible. Unless you're willing to get wet and swim, it makes no sense on the side of the pool just reading a textbook about how to swim. And it's certainly like the man in the arena makes no sense to talk shit. And again, I had to admit I was wrong, and I did that in multiple posts. To talk shit about people swimming and fumbling around and learning their way in the water with these tools, if you're not in the water yourself, if you're not in the arena yourself, if you're on the bleachers and the cheap seats shouting how terrible it is and it's going to fuck everything up, but you're not even on the field playing the game. You haven't even touched the ball. So what are you talking about? Again, talking to myself. Maybe you know someone like this. Maybe this is you. So what does this all mean practically? Over the course of the next weeks and months, through experimentation and trial and error, like I said, I built my first agent, which built the second agent last night, and I'm getting pretty geeked out on this stuff, consuming tutorials, learning the basics of some code, learning all the ways that this can be applicable, specifically for business. I don't know if I want to like help clients build this or help them use it yet. I want to really test it in my own brand and business first. But you can do some pretty crazy stuff. Like, for example, I don't know if I'm going to do this because I'm more focused on research right now with the actual project I'm building with my agents. But this video right now, this podcast, I can finish this live. It's going to take you through the whole workflow. Now, you could already do this with VAs or marketers or team members. You could already do this with paid tools and apps, but you'd have to find each one and explain to them what you want or run multiple apps. I can literally take this video after when I'm done, save it to my computer. I'll take the video file and I'll feed it to my agent and say, hey, take this video, faithfully transcribe the whole thing. And it'll spit out faithful text. I'll run it again and be like, double check it for errors. Make sure you don't guess on words I'm saying. If you don't know the word, leave in the like mispronounced word. And then I'll, as a human in the loop with the machines, go in and make sure that it's not mispronouncing or messing up my language. And then I'll say, hey, take this transcript. And again, you got to code all this stuff and tell it what to do, but be like, using my tone and language, using these parameters with this word count, I want you to spin up a perfectly SEO optimized LinkedIn article. I want you to create a Substack article out of it. I want you to create 6 reels of the top moments based on your algorithm on what's performing well on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and Instagram Reels. I want you to take the full audio and clean it up and get it ready to ship into a podcast container like Spotify or Apple, iTunes, podcasts. I want you to take the 6 top quotes and compose viral potential tweets. And now I want you to load this all into a project manager dashboard and get them all ready for my approval to ship. That whole process will take this project I've built using agents probably max 10 or 15 minutes. Think about the human labor to do all that, or you personally labor of putting that into every single app and doing it. Now, that all being said, I'm actually not interested yet. Maybe I'll do it and I'll tell you guys when I do. I'm not going to pretend I'm not going to do it and then pretend I didn't do it. That I'm going to ship or post AI generated content, even based on real content I did. Because I still think that it's cringe at best. And at worst, it's just terrible. It's not even good, and no one's going to consume it. And I guess the people that do consume it, because there's a lot of people doing this and selling and making millions of dollars just with AI generated content, you know, it is what it is. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I don't personally like it, but you can do it. And it's crazy how good it can be in terms of, say you've hired a ghostwriter to write your book or write your posts, or say you were using like Dragon or Otter, like the older generation of transcription tools, and using this, and then, you know, using the 1.0 version of LLMs or someone else like a ghostwriter or a VA, let's say a virtual assistant, to write for you. It's that on steroids at a level that's going to make the creator economy, which I haven't looked up the market cap recently, but it's a billions upon billions dollar economy. All the creators on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram that are creating content, selling products and services from it. It's a massive industry, and it's set to grow pretty insanely. The last stat I saw is it's growing like 30% year over year. And who knows if that'll accelerate or slow down? Doesn't matter. These tools are so powerful that if you want leverage, if you are an entrepreneur of any kind, even if you have a job right now, if you want to start a side hustle, you've never had more power at your disposal. And for all the people out there that are already virtual assistants, personal assistants, executive assistants, web designers, UI, UX designers, app developers, website builders of any kind, funnel builders, if you aren't using these tools, people will use AI to take your job. Like it's just, and that's just the first wave. Then other jobs are going to be taken later with robotics and all the crazy stuff that's going to come. But right now, the AI revolution is taking knowledge work off the table first. Knowledge work's all the stuff I've been talking about. Now, what is the X factor? It is your creativity and your human touch. So your ability to be an intelligent human with taste and skill in communicating your value, that's human first, that's creative, that's unique, that's benevolent, is the X factor. Because there's plenty of bad actors out there that are just going to use these technologies and just pump out a factory of slop. And it's already happening. Go on YouTube, look at all the AI generated videos, go on Facebook, look at all the AI generated posts. It's already happened. It's happening. It's going to continue to happen. It's actually going to accelerate. Again, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I don't personally like it in terms of taste and my preferences. I think a lot of it's terrible. But, and the leverage is here, and it's a choice if you want to take a step in that direction. I'm choosing that step. I'm getting my mind blown daily by it. It's very fun. Ultimately, it's just fun. Like I would do it even if it had zero business applications, because now that I'm actually messing around with the tools, I'm enjoying myself and it's putting me into a flow state, which is making everything else I do, client sessions, my writing, my work, better. So it doesn't matter if you want to like make it profitable or productive. It's actually a exercise in your creative potential ultimately, right? And that's what all technology is. Tools are neutral. The human using them determines whether they're good or bad. So all that being said, if you've liked this video, I'm going to stop it here. Make sure you hit follow. Drop me a comment if you want to push back on anything. Tag somebody who might be interested in this. And if you really liked it, share it out. If you want to set up a free consult with me, there's a link in my bio. I can put it in the comments here too. And we can talk shop. You know, I specialize in supporting entrepreneurs build, grow their business. I'm kind of like your consultant Gandalf or Obi-Wan to your Frodo or Luke Skywalker. And I do that for people all over the world. I also specialize in polarity relationships. I work with married couples, I work with single people, dial in their dating profiles, get them dating successfully, healing their relationships, increasing intimacy. I love it and I'm really good at it. So if you're interested in any of that, let me know and stay tuned because I'm basically going to rebuild my entire website architecture with this. I'm going to be launching a lot of free resources on this. I'm going to be blasting my creative pipeline from my own brain with these tools and inviting y'all into the world. And also, like today with this solo cast, just document my journey. So even if that's just of value to you, hopefully you're following along and being like, oh man, that's a really cool idea. Maybe I should do that.